So they cornered Kamala Harris again on the tarmac to ask her again about Joe Biden's garbage comment, and here's what she had to say.
Do you sympathize with any voters who do feel offended by or insulted by the garbage comment?
I am running for president of the United States. I will be traveling to 3 states today to do what I have been doing throughout, which is talking with the American people about the fact that, first of all, I get it in terms of the concerns they have about challenges like the price of groceries. Second, my highest priority is to address that and to lift them up around their ambitions, their aspirations, and their dreams.
Donald Trump's garbage truck moment is literally destroying Kamala Harris and her entire campaign. So no, I guess you're not going to be answering the question that was actually asked of you, Kamala.
While Kamala Harris may have hoped to bask in the glow of her jam-packed Tuesday night rally, her campaign is stuck cleaning up comments President Biden made on a live stream to supporters.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable.
Biden was responding to a question about an offensive joke made at Donald Trump's rally on Sunday, where a comedian called Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage. The president tried to clarify his remarks, posting on X, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. That's all I meant to say."
He clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for.
Republicans were quick to pounce on Biden's comments, with Donald Trump hearing about it on stage at his rally in Pennsylvania Tuesday night.
But I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage.
So you have... Remember Hillary, she said deplorable? Garbage, I think, is worse, right?
This is the same old playbook as before. Why not just, why? Well, we know why he does this, but in the last week of the campaign, it's just sowing fear.
Well, first of all, it's my sincerest hope and belief that we are going to have a free, fair election in this country, largely because of the diffused nature of it and all the volunteers and county clerks and secretaries of state who pull it off. So that's my number one view. Number two, the story he is referencing is a real story. I mean, I'm looking at the headlines right here. Pennsylvania election offices on high alert following potential voter registration fraud investigation in Lancaster County. So it's a real story. He's talking
That's not what he said.
We played what Trump said. I fact-checked it. He said there are 2,600 votes. They're not votes.
He's wrong about that. It's registrations.
Can I tell you why
they're being investigated. There's no scandal.
But this isn't rocket science, though. Like, and Scott is absolutely correct. I voted today in South Carolina. My wife and I, we went to the Strom Thurmond, or the Blot, excuse me, it wasn't Strom Thurmond, the Blot Peace Center on the campus of University of South Carolina, full of volunteers. They were there ushering us around, making sure we got there correctly, no long line, shout out to them. Or the Blot, excuse me, it wasn't Strom Thurmond, the Blot Peace Center on the campus of University of South Carolina, full of volunteers. They were there ushering us around, making sure we got there correctly, no long line, shout out to them.
Following potential voter registration fraud investigation in Lancaster County. So it's a real story. He's talking.
That's not what he said.
We played what Trump said. I fact-checked it. He said there are 2,600 votes. They're not votes.
He's wrong about that. It's registrations.
Can I tell you why
they're being investigated? There's no scandal.
But this isn't rocket science. We see it on X every single day. What Elon Musk has created, what they've created is this echo chamber whereby people just come online and simply say, "Oh, it's hashtag too big to rig." And the reason that they're doing this is to sow distrust in the elections so that when Kamala Harris actually has the most votes on November 5th.
Wait.
Voter registrations that are either manipulated, illegal, or fraudulent.
Wait a second.
No, we don't know. But time out. Put them in jail.
Why is the Biden DOJ suing the state of...
No. You asked me a question and I answered it directly.
That's good.
Guys, want you to watch. CNN hosts absolutely lose it once their guest agrees with Donald Trump and completely disagrees with CNN. And then CNN's host is actually forced to concede. Watch.
But this isn't rocket science. We see it on X every single day. What Elon Musk has created, what they've created is this echo chamber whereby people just come online and simply say, "Oh, it's hashtag too big to rig," or "they're doing this," or Elon will say something and quote tweet something that is the most far out conspiracy theory ever and simply say, community knows, is this true? And we know that my 5-year-olds know that it's not true. And the reason that they're doing this is to sow distrust in the elections so that when Kamala Harris actually has the most votes on November 5th, you see the tweets that say, I have sources inside the campaign from a random guy who doesn't exist, no one is ever talking to. Like, it's all about sowing distrust so that people can say that Kamala Harris didn't rightfully win.
But then why can't Democrats come out and say 2,600 voter registrations that are either manipulated, illegal, or fraudulent?
Wait a second. No. But time out. Put them in jail.
Okay, then why is the Biden DOJ suing the state of...
No. You asked me a question and I answered it directly.
That's good. I like
Put them in jail. And you know what? You'll find out. The voter fraud that we've seen in this country, the 1, 2, 3, 4 dozen instances we've seen in this country, contrary to Elon Musk, contrary to Charlie Kirk, who you've advocated your little voter harvesting to, you know what's happening? Those are from Republicans. Like, if somebody is committing voter fraud in the country, lock their ass up, Mark.
Look, the reason Donald Trump actually is where he is because he's actually still cleaning up the mess from Sunday in Allentown, where more than half the population is Hispanic or Latino. This is a problem. I mean, contrary to the idea that this was all a joke and nobody cares, the Trump campaign cares.
Biden has done it again, guys. You need to watch this. President Joe Biden can do is resort to calling patriotic people who want to see America thrive garbage. But I think we will be taking out the trash on November 5th when we go vote. I mean, really, the blowback about this Biden comment could not be bigger, guys. I guess we now know why the Harris campaign has rebuffed offers from the incumbent president to more actively campaign for her in the final stretch. And you know what Harris said about the Biden garbage comment? That she strongly disagrees with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. So, okay, so she's fine with calling us fascists? I mean, where's the fine line, Kamala? I mean, Donald Trump's already sending emails saying, first, Hillary called you a deplorable. Then they called you a fascist. And moments ago, Kamala's boss, Biden, called you garbage. Political analyst says that Joe Biden's misstep could be game over for Kamala Harris, especially as a precarious moment for the Harris campaign with less than a week until Election Day. They said that any miscalculation, especially one involving language perceived as contemptuous, can have far-reaching consequences. And let me tell you guys, this one was a doozy. Republican pollster Frank Luntz said it's going to be huge because this is not some comedian saying something stupid and offensive at a rally. He said this is going to drive Trump turnout. This may be a turning point for those final 3%, and that's all it is. Who still needs to be persuaded? As Trump so rightfully said in his Green Bay rally, they have called us racists, bigots, fascists, deplorables, irredeemables, Nazis, and they called me Hitler. They've bullied you, they've demonized us, they've censored us, they've deplatformed us, and they've weaponized the power of our own government against all of us. This Tuesday is your chance to stand up and declare you are not going to take it anymore. Drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Hit the like button to show your support, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications for more content like this to be sent straight to your device. We're just about, halfway through this video, so do not go anywhere, guys. We're continuing right now. Now, you guys got to see this. Former President Donald Trump continuing to troll Biden and Harris by wearing a garbage. Now, let's be real, guys. At this point, they've made this country into a circus. And if the president of that circus is calling the American people garbage, then I'd rather be garbage and proud of my country than vote for anybody who's making us feel like garbage. You know what I mean? But you know who the real winner is here? Former President Donald Trump, as he capitalized on Biden's garbage comment by speaking to reporters from a garbage truck. Watch.
All right, guys, full camera. Right here, keep commenting. Right.
President Trump, you said the other day that hard or the military could be used on election day. Can you be more specific about what that would look like?
Any questions?
Sir, RFK Jr. said that you promised to control the public health agencies if you were to win. Is that accurate?
I can't. You have to speak louder.
Sir, RFK Jr. said that you promised to control the public health agencies if you were to win. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Well, we'll work with him, and he's a very talented guy. He wants women's health. He wants health for people. And we're going to work with him. He's a very, very talented guy. He's a friend of mine.
President Trump, you said the other day from the Democrats going to have
I think the Democrats have done a very poor job. We're leading in every state. We're leading big, and I think that the comment made by really both of them, because there are really two of them.
Now, you know you got to give it to this man and his campaign, right? He knows how to make a statement and dominate the news cycle. And I guess being called garbage is actually a compliment compared to being called a Nazi and a deplorable, right? In fact, former President Donald Trump brings up that exact topic right from the garbage truck. Watch.
The comment made by really both of them, because there are really two of them, about being garbage, maybe 250 million people. They shouldn't be talking. That's like deplorable for Hillary. This is the deplorable for Hillary.
Now, honestly, guys, this is just the Democratic Party showing their true colors. Now, I guess the party of unity and tolerance strikes again, right? And did you catch Kamala Harris trying to distance herself from Joe Biden's garbage comment? Oh, that got a little bit awkward. I mean, sure, she disagrees with calling us garbage, but she doesn't have a problem comparing. That's all he meant to say. I'm not buying it. But Trump and his allies were way too quick for them. As our former president said in his Raleigh, North Carolina rally, Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala Harris think of our supporters. Trump compared Biden's remarks with the real quality of his supporters, saying that you can't lead America if you don't love Americans. Well, do you agree? Trump's campaign did not let the moment pass either. The first thing they asked the former president when this blew up was, "Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?" His surrogates didn't let up either. Retired NFL quarterback Brett Favre, a longtime supporter of Trump and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, addressed Biden's comment at the Green Bay rally, saying that we're not garbage, and how dare he say that. The former quarterback commented, looking out, he sees police officers, teachers, nurses, grandparents, students. He says he sees everyday Americans that make this country great. Other Trump allies, including Florida Representative Byron Donalds and former Republican presidential primary candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, he compared Joe Biden's comment to Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables comment during her failed 2016 bid for president against Donald Trump. Donald pretty much summed it up right here, saying that Barack Obama once upon a time called us bitter clingers. Hillary Clinton has called us deplorables. Kamala Harris refers to us as fascists, and Joe Biden called us garbage. But again, he said, we're none of these things. We're red-blooded Americans, and we're taking America back. Trump supporters are also very clear that the real battle is at the ballot box on November 5th. Make no mistake, the Post interviewed some Trump supporters who were at the MSG rally. One said that we don't care about all the garbage that the Democrats say about President Trump. We're going in the wrong direction, and he's the man for the situation. Another made the point that it's one thing for a comedian to make a bad joke or a joke that wasn't well received, but it's another thing for someone who's not a comedian but is the president of the United States to say it about half of the country. But really, what struck me the most was this one comment saying their policies haven't worked. They don't have plans for new policies to work. So the best thing than than Donald Trump supporters to Nazis? Yeah, definitely not buying it. At this point, let's just see this as one man's trash being turned into another man's treasure. Because seriously, in the final week of the presidential election, I don't think President Joe Biden couldn't have given former President Donald Trump a better campaign gift than calling half of America garbage. I mean, you saw the video, right? You heard what he said. There's no denying it. Biden and probably the rest of the Democratic elites, including Kamala Harris, see Donald Trump's supporters as garbage. Like Trump said at his rally while wearing a bright orange safety vest, they treat you like garbage. They treat our whole country like garbage. So he showed them. He was picked up from the airport in a garbage truck on his way to the rally. He told the reporters that the truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. Brilliant. Now, President Joe Biden's comment happened on what was supposed to be a Latino outreach call to support Harris's candidacy. The president was responding to a comedian's joke about Puerto Rico being called a floating island of garbage during Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden. But boy, did Joe Biden mess that up, because in defending the Puerto Rican community, he ended up saying the 11 words that may have just sunk Kamala Harris' campaign for good. Let me quote it for you guys. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. Now, that was coming from the president of the United States, you guys. Now, again, Biden basically just called almost 50% of voting Americans floating garbage. And you know, it was a huge mess up based on how quickly the White House rushed to clarify that the president did not mean to label Donald Trump's supporters as garbage. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates tried passing it off as Biden referring to the hateful rhetoric of Donald Trump's rally rather than his supporters directly. They even released a supposedly official transcript placing a silent apostrophe in supporters. So Biden's comment was let loose around 7 p.m. and at 7:21 p.m., I kid you not, guys, political White House bureau chief and MSNBC host Jonathan Lemire publishes an item reading Biden in a Zoom call with the organization Voto Latino said the only garbage was the hatred of Trump supporters who said such things about American citizens. Now, fast forward to 9:31 p.m., Biden, or probably one of Biden's handlers, had already posted on X saying that he was referring to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally and supposedly worker vest in his rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He even joked about his staff saying he'd look thinner, so he wore it on stage. He said he may never wear a blue jacket again. Kidding aside, former President Donald Trump also brought up the very real fact that Biden, Democrats, and most especially his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, are running a campaign of hate, vitriol, and retribution. And it wasn't just Joe Biden. He said that this week, Kamala Harris has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And then Biden just pretty much piled on while speaking on a call for her campaign, by the way, and finally said what he and Kamala Harris really think of Trump supporters. He called them garbage. As Trump said, his response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. It's true. You can't be president if you hate the American people, which he believes they do, and Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States. He added that Kamala Harris and Joe call all of us, and even them, garbage, while he calls you the heart and soul of America. He also didn't fail to thank all our sanitation workers all across America because they work hard and they do an incredible job, and they don't get the credit that they deserve. I mean, what a stand-up guy, right? As the former President Donald Trump thanked former astronaut Buzz Aldrin for his recent endorsement, he said that what we have built is the biggest, broadest, most incredible coalition and the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And last but not least, he predicted that November 4th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. But what about you guys? Do you agree with former President Donald Trump? Will November 5th be Liberation Day here in America? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, guys. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any updates in this run-up to the most important election of our lives. Now, speaking of, do not forget to check out the latest video on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just revealing some major secrets about the Democratic Party, and not in the way you think. I guess this is why everybody hates the liberal congresswoman. Now, I'm telling you guys, you need to see this to believe it, so definitely check that video out right after this one. You should see some video links popping up right here. But as always, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.